Hello, and welcome to Scoutbook training. This is video number 2. In this video, we're going to talk about the calendar and also the Feature Assistant extension for Scoutbook. Let's get started by logging in. As a reminder, this username and password is generated from the myscouting.org profile you created when registering your Scout for the first time. If you recall, at this high level, we go into our dashboard where we find all our information for our units and our Scouts. Clicking on administration will bring you to that dashboard. Today, we're going to talk about events. If you click on the events, it's going to show you a list view of all your upcoming events. If you click on the black header on upcoming events, this will bring you into your calendar view. A couple things to know about the calendar view. First of all, the calendars are Google calendars. So you can actually link to these calendars and you can embed these calendars into your website. Looking down beneath the calendar, you see these subscribe buttons. That gets you to the Google link to those calendars. Looking at the color coding, you can decide which calendar you would like to put an event on. Every den has their own calendar. So if you choose, you could have a Weeblos only den event and have it marked as yellow. In our pack, we put everything to the main calendar, which is the Pack 34 calendar. It's just easier that way. If you look below, you have the same list of events, of upcoming events beneath the calendar. To show you the ability to embed, if you go to our PAC website, under upcoming events, you see the same list coming out of the Google calendars. This way, your parents and your leaders can add the calendars to their phones. It's very easy to use. If you go into the day and the event listed on that day, you will see a very robust event with lots of information here. I have it set up so that I'm accepting RSVPs, and you can see already that there are a few people who have attended the event. If I need to edit the event, I'll go below and I'll click the edit button. And this gets me into the configuration of the event. Now, I want to point out a couple very interesting things. This repeating event button right here is a very powerful tool. This allows you to set up an event once and propagate it out based on time for other months or other weeks or other days. This is a great way of setting up your PAC meeting schedule or your den meeting schedules without having to set up an event for every month in the year. You do it once and you propagate it out. This is not a native part of the system. This becomes a part of the system only after you install the Feature Assistant extension for Scoutbook. Let's talk about that for a little bit. Not everything was designed into Scoutbook when it was released. A parent volunteer took it upon himself to build out some of those features that were missing and were badly needed, repeating events in particular. If you go into this extension, I'm using Chrome, so it's a Chrome extension, but it exists in other browsers. and you go to the help document, you're able to see all the things that get turned on when you install the feature and system. This is very important. You should install this if you're going to use Scoutbook. Each of these things have a link so you can go and read a little bit more to figure out how it works. But there's lots of great add-ons that get installed with this extension. I use repeating events all the time. Copy events is very handy when you want to add something that doesn't repeat, but that you might do a couple times a year. You can send messages to your attendees. If they've RSVP'd for an event, they become available in the messaging system. So I won't go too far into this, but I would encourage you to absolutely install this extension because it really gives you a lot of added features. Okay. I'm going to add a new event. I'm going to click on a new day and I'm going to choose my calendar. I'm going to tell it what kind of event. I'll just say it's a PAC meeting. Give it a title. Give it a location. If you want to add a location URL, you can. And then give it a date and a time that the event would happen. If I want this to be a repeating event, I can turn that on. And then it will ask me some information. I want this to happen every month on the day that I choose. So that's a Friday. So every month on a Friday, this is gonna repeat. I can say how many months I want it to repeat for, how many occurrences I'd like to see. Very handy. Turn that off for now. A couple of other things that I pick up is the ability to add advancement. If I'm knowing that I'm going to perform some advancement here, I can add the advancement and tell what it's going to be. So if it's something to do with the bears, I can do something that I can tell them what the advancement is. And then with the existence of that advancement on this event, anyone who's attended will automatically be approved for the work that was completed during that meeting. Very handy. Over on the right side, I can see my attendees. So I'm selecting my parents, or my leaders, my parents, and then my scouts. And I'm asking for RSVPs. Now, if I turn that off, then they won't be able to RSVP. Turning it on allows me to require an RSVP, and it also shows up in the scouting app for parents. If I want to add to my attendee list, I can come in here and I can change who I'm asking to come. So I've turned everyone off, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say select all leaders, select all parents, select all scouts, and then I'll hit set. And that will put them all back. If I needed permission slips, I could set this radio button. I can also get an RSVP report when people start RSVPing for the event. This will give me a head count for planning purposes. Another great tool is the ability to set scheduled reminders. So if I wanted to schedule a reminder to say send an hour before the event, and I hit set, or I have a lot of options, and I can set more than one. So I could say one day before, set, and then I'll do another one to say 1 hour before, or let's say 4 hours before. So I'm going to send a reminder the day before, and then I'm going to send the reminder 4 hours before the event. And I can add some details and a note if I need that. The notes are only seen by admins in the system, so that means den leaders and den leadership. And I can hit save, and that event will be saved to the calendar. When I go back to my calendar, you'll see the new event is listed there. Because this isn't a real event, I'm going to remove it. These calendars are very handy. This tool embedded into this system makes organizing your year very, very easy. I encourage you to look deeper. Thanks for watching. Next time, we're going to talk about messaging. See you then.